Good morning, cruise news time. This is Danny with Sandy Destinations Travels. Got a couple of cruise stories for you today. First off, we're going to talk about the third Carnival cruise ship to restart its new sailings after all this time. We've also got Carnival Cruise Line to add separate non-smoking casinos on 3 ships, and the CDC successfully gets hold of Florida's conditional sailing order ruling. Let's talk about those. All right, so let's first talk about the Carnival Breeze. It becomes the second ship to sail out of Port of Galveston in Texas after the 16 months of no cruising. So what does this mean? It means that, Carnival's comeback is well and truly underway now, because it has 3 ships going now. This ship left out of Galveston on a 4-day cruise. It went to Cozumel, Mexico. It was the only port of call during it before its return to the home port in Galveston. It also will offer a 5-day cruise that will depart today and Saturdays, including calls to Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Progreso, sorry. Uh, you know, Obviously Carnival's excited that they are doing this. They will have their 4th ship going here shortly to Alaska. They're excited about that. And on top of that, on the 31st, so just, like a week and a half away, they have the premiere of the Mardi Gras. So, lots of great news coming out of Carnival on all those things. Next, let's talk a little bit about casinos on Carnival cruise ships. On 3 of their ships, they are going to roll out a non-smoking casino. They're going to try this on the Breeze, the Dream, and the Magic. All 3 of those ships have conference areas that get little to no use, so their plan is to switch them over into casinos and try to obviously generate more revenue. It obviously will be a test to see if they get more revenue because they do that, to see if people that are non-smokers will obviously go over into the non-smoking casino and spend more money. This, according to John Heald, this is the best way for them to try and generate extra revenue so they can keep the cruise prices down for everybody. Obviously, the more money they make through the casino, through the gift stores, through any added, liquor sales, anything like that, will help keep their base price of their cruise fares down. That's ultimately what they want. They are the fun ship. They're America's cruise line, self-proclaimed, and they want to do what is in the best interest for their company, obviously, but they want to be able to make it the best cruise line out there, and they want to be able to come back with a vengeance from this pandemic. Before our next cruise story, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you to subscribe to the channel. If you wouldn't mind just hitting subscribe, hitting the little bell icon, and I thank you in advance for that. Trying to build this, and hopefully the information that we put forward to you is informational and hopefully enjoyable for you. And I thank you in advance for subscribing. All right, and the last cruise story for you is the CDC, which appealed the conditional sail order with the judge that said it would turn into a recommendation instead of a requirement. They won their court appeal in a 2-to-1 ruling. So, instead of it turning into a recommendation yesterday, it is still now the way it's going to be. It's still the rule of the law of the cruise line, not a recommendation in Florida. The order, came just merely 10 minutes before it was supposed to have taken into effect. the U.S. Court of Appeals had not ruled in favor of the stay for the lower court's decision, the cruise line would have been able to sail without having to abide by the requirements and protocols as have been set out in the CSO. These protocols would have been designated a recommendation if the 11th Circuit panel had not made the last-minute decision on Saturday on the CSO ruling going into effect on Sunday. Only last month, the U.S. Judge in Florida sided with the state of Florida and said that the state had shown the CDC how the CDC had exceeded its authority in adopting and implementing rules that determined how the cruise ships could operate post-pandemic. The Justice Department appealed the decision from the U.S. District Court during early July, saying that the state of Florida had no basis to lift the COVID-19 health and safety protocols developed by the CDC and the cruise industry. That being said, in the 2-to-1 ruling, it basically came down to the fact that the cruise lines are sailing currently, and it seems to be successfully with the rules in place. So obviously, they said that they can continue on listening to the CDC. Obviously, the CDC nor the offices of Governor DeSantis and the Attorney General issued a statement over the weekend. I'm sure we'll hear something today about it. DeSantis did state earlier that the CDC had disregarded the freedom of Floridians to make decisions for their families, while the government also believes the CSO is negatively impacting Florida's economy, saying that the economy has suffered a decline in operating revenue of almost $300 million for the ports alone. The amount grows significantly when those dependent on the cruise industry are taken into account as well. Whether the court case had any added value at this point seems to be the question that everyone is asking. So far, multiple cruise lines and cruise ships, as I said, are operating successfully from Florida's ports, a number that is set to grow significantly over the weeks. Even if the cruise line could disregard the CSO, a return to cruising would not necessarily be achievable at a much higher rate, with most cruise lines requiring quarantine periods and 100% vaccination levels for crew on board. And crewing the ships provide the most cost exceed. The current timeline are more due to difficulties the cruise industry experiences are here to the requirements of the CSO. That being said, the situation remains fluid. Despite the increase in cruise traffic, the situation around the Florida in particular remains fluid. Only last week did Norwegian Cruise Line sue Florida itself for preventing the cruise line from resuming operations safely and soundly. So that's another trial that's going to be going on. Norwegian is set to operate from Miami on August 15th with the Norwegian Gem. However, the cruise line is being held back by proof of vaccination ban that is in place in Florida because the cruise lines mandate 100% vaccination level for all guests and crew. The fact that the U.S. Court of Appeals has now put a hold on the CSO ruling does not mean that has been thrown out altogether. The hold merely suggests that the appeals court requires more time to go over the details of the case and could still argue for Florida in the end, or agree with Florida in the end. The court has not yet provided any opinions in the case, which is expected to come in the days ahead. So that's your cruise news today, folks. Again, I'm Danny with Sandy's Destinations. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to either comment in the comment section, or you can email me at sandydestinations2019@gmail.com. If you'd like me to help you plan out your next exciting cruise vacation, email me as well or visit me on Facebook, and I'd be more than happy to help you out there. Also, I would like to thank you in advance if you'd go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell button to to get all notifications when new episodes come out. So until the next time, we will see you later. Have a good day.